Hello. This is a koala bear. Ever seen one? Well, this is an image of a koala bear. Anyway, I chose it because it's a little being that sleeps 20 some hours a day and doesn't move very fast when it moves at all. And I've been feeling a little like that lately. So me and Mrs. Koala Bear will see what kind of a message comes through to share with you. I was thinking about time and how at the root of it, any time we find we have a discomfort, an anxiety, a botheration of some kind or another, any time at all, if we look underneath it, we'll find that time is involved. Now, if we look at all of the things that we've been taught that aren't true, at the top of the list somewhere we'll find time. This whole linear past, present, future thing, it's got to go. It's on its way out because we're on our way up and out of this lower or dense vibration that is 3D on planet Earth. Planet Earth herself is on the way out, the way I see it. We'll all know pretty soon. I don't figure that December 2012 is necessarily going to be the time that something, really fantastic happens. But we're closing in on it one way or another. I'm giving it until 2017. That's just a few years down the road. And folks, the changes we're making are so vast. I think the incremental way is pretty good. It's about got me under 6 feet under. It's about knocked me down, even going just as fast as it's going. So I'm sure it's hitting all of us differently. We have different bodies, that we're working with here. Now remember, you are not your body. I'm just as much this here koala bear as I am Teresa Ann, or Sita, whichever we use. You're not your body. I'm not my body. It doesn't feel like that, I know, but that's the case anyway. We're light beings, and we get to find out when we have an NDE or even an OBE, an out-of-body experience. And it's a real awakening, it's a real shock to remember what it's like to vibrate at a higher frequency. Feels really nice. Anyway, back to time. All of our ideas about it are wrong. Every one of them. And I don't know why. I don't know if it's necessary to experience time this way to be in 3D. I kind of suspect that it is. It's probably an absolutely primary component of 3D, this linear sort of time, but I don't know. Maybe there are races and beings somewhere that experience time completely differently and yet still have physical bodies of some sort. But I do know a little something about what time is like in heart, or we can just watch the NDE videos. I think my playlist is up to about 33 or 34 hours now of NDE videos. There's plenty there. You can come and watch a few and come back next week and watch a few more. When I want to pick me up, when I'm really down, I'll just veg out with that playlist. It helps take me there. See, the thing is, all there really is now. And if you want to pull yourself together, to me, that means to pull myself into the now. Right into this moment, right here, right now. And that's pretty tricky I mean, it's not the way we've been trained, and it's not something you can really do when you're in mind either. Mind and time are, they're kind of equal. Mind, time, and ego, all the same thing, interchangeable, more or less. And so when you step in heart or into higher dimensions, you step out, not out of time. Time still exists. It's an organizing factor. It's kind of like a file cabinet, It's the labels on the file folders. But it's not a limitation anymore. You're not forced to go through it sequentially. Linear, past, present, future. And so anytime you think of, you're there. Just like any place you think of, you're there too. And so it all exists, but we have complete and total freedom to traverse it as we will, to learn about and visit any time, any space, any activity. Okay, now let's not be in too much of a hurry to get there. I mean, one of the biggest problems NDEers have, people that have a near-death experience, is that when they get to the other side, they don't want to come back. Women that have just given birth haven't even held their babies in their arms yet. They're on the other side, and everything's different there. So totally different that even they most often, don't want to come back. So that's an odd thing, and it can't be understood with the mind, so don't try, don't put them down or think they're heartless. It's just not like that. It's just a different dimension, and things are just different there. I'm noticing that we're upping our tolerance for what's different in allowing other folks to just be who and what they are, and have that be non-threatening. It's high time we got over this whole thing of, if I disagree with you, then you want to come back and attack me because you think I've attacked you, even though I was just trying to talk to you about a certain idea you had. It's very strange to be stuck on that level where you can't have an honest conversation, and where we're so involved and so attached to this whole drama that we make it a melodrama here in 3D. And again, whenever we've got difficulty or pain or challenge, I want you to take a look at that and see what the element of time is doing in there. And of course, anytime we want to escape from time, we can go into heart. In heart, it's very much like it is on the other side from what the NDEers report. Because in heart, you're in superposition everywhere. So space is not an issue, and neither is time. And so it's everything we've learned about time, we're getting ready to have to ditch. So why not start seeing through it now, looking at it from different perspectives and in different ways, and seeing what that'll do for us. It can be fun anyway. I mean, the big reason I came to share it was because if time, the way we understand it now, if time is one of the causes or at the root of whatever challenge we're having, well, I just feel like that's enlightening somehow. That we can take a look at that and begin to piece it out into what's real and what's not there. And we know the way we understand time just isn't real. It really isn't. Okay, now, have I covered that? I guess there was something else I wanted to share and see if you've noticed the same thing. I'm noticing, and this, okay, let's do this with time. I'm noticing better communication between me and spirit. Now, at this point, I'm not yet clear on where these intuitions are coming from. And at this point, it's not really all that much like intuition. I don't know. Anyway, you know the little nudges you receive that say, you know, don't forget to bring the kid's picture, or just little things, you know, like, no, you don't want to eat that right now, or that you do, or just little things. Usually, we're moving along too fast to stop and pay attention to these little nudges when they crop up. We're going too fast. And we're in mind, and mind is in gear, and you know, it's off in the future. It's thinking way ahead to where we're going, what we're doing. It's not in the present. And because it's not in the present, we're not fully in the present. And so we don't generally notice most of our intuitions, much less follow them. We're going too fast. You know, it's like we can't take time for that. Ha ha. When we're all over the place when it comes to time, you know. Whereas when we can come to center more and more, when we just place our attention in the middle of the chest, for whatever that's worth, somehow that always manages to connect for me. Well, always is a very big word. Almost always manages to connect with heart. And when we're in heart, we have no trouble being now here. Right now and right here. And when we're now here, then we find ourselves, or this is what's happening with me, I'm finding myself, firstly, able to hear this guidance that's coming in for me. I suspect it might be my spiritual guide. Ah, okay, my heart's telling me I'm right on that. Okay. And it's wonderful just to hear. It's really nice. And I guess our guides can tell when we're ready to begin working with them in a closer way. Because when they give us some guidance, first we hear it, and second we apply it. We listen to it. And so by doing that, we're opening the door for ourselves to a closer relationship with our own spiritual guidance. And so in this case, it's our happiness, it's our joy, our connection with higher dimensions that's also depending on time and how we're looking at time. If we can pull out of the mind and be in heart, or at least be in now, I mean, however you pull yourself into the present moment, whatever that looks like for you. That's all I'm saying when I'm saying be in heart. I just find that when I center in my chest, it's almost like it's done for me. I can just kind of fall into it. It's there, ready-made, you know. It's nothing I have to learn or develop or go and find or anything like that. It's effortless. It's just a matter of remembering to do it, you know, to set the intent. But anyway, so in this case, it's when we step out of our current understandings around time that we're more available to the intuition and the spiritual guidance when it comes. Now, I know that heart speaks to all of us all the time. And again, I don't know what that is. Is that your guardian angel? Is that your spiritual guide? And heck, could they be one and the same? I don't know, maybe. Is that your still small voice? Is that the voice of your intuition? Is it source? I mean, I don't know. I just have a sense of, it's like there's a thumbprint on it when it's divine. There's just something about it that's higher dimensional. Maybe it's just higher frequency. I don't know. There's a lot I don't know. But when we can step away from viewing time as something linear, the way the mind sees it, and that's legitimate for mind. I mean, it's got to get you to work on time and to pick up the kids on time and all that kind of stuff. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just that it's not so spiritual. It's very much 3D. And so, when we want to access the higher dimensions of ourself, or just the higher dimensions, it pays to step out of the mind, that's all. Step into heart, why not? Give it a try, see if it works for you. And so, when we pull ourselves completely into the now, there's an emptiness to that. We're used to being full. The mind is always full. Have you noticed? It's always got something going on, something to say. Mutters all the time, the self-talk. And so it's all full up all the time. There's no emptiness to it. But when we go in heart, or when we go just pull ourselves into the now moment, there's a quietness to that. All that chatter goes away. Or if it comes up, you can just look away. It'll be there for you when you're not tuning in or meditating or whatever this is that we're doing here. It'll be there later. You owe yourself some time in heart, just as a part of loving you, of being gentle and caring. And so, I've been hearing and going slow enough to follow the little bits of guidance that I'm given. And so I suggest, if you've had a challenge with that, we all get these intuitions about, you need to take this book or that paper along with you, and when you don't do it, sure enough, you think, oh shucks, when the need for it comes up, and you realize that you could have had it, but you were going too fast. You were out of whack with time. So we'll hear our intuition better if we empty out. Empty. Being empty is really, really nice. Then we can get down to the only things that we need to be responsible for. And that is ourself. That's it. And now, this moment and the self is all we need to be responsible for at any time. And if we'll do that, if we'll just give it a chance and follow it for a little while, give it a couple or 3 days, where you just keep pulling yourself back to the present moment and to watching yourself, just being involved with yourself. And see if your intuition doesn't kick up a notch or 3. I think it will. See you again soon. Good day. What kind of a message comes through to share with you? I was thinking about time and how at the root of it, any time we find we have a discomfort, an anxiety, a botheration of some kind or another, anytime at all. Hello. This is a koala bear. Ever seen one? Well, this is an image of a koala bear. Anyway, I chose it. This whole linear past, present, future thing, it's got to go. It's on its way out because we're on our way up and out of this lower or dense vibration that is 3D on planet Earth. Planet Earth herself is on the way out, the way I see it. If we look underneath it, we'll find that time is involved. Now, if we look at all of the things that we've been taught that aren't true, at the top of the list somewhere we'll find time, because it's a little being that sleeps 20 some hours a day and doesn't move very fast when it moves at all. And I've been feeling a little like that lately. So me and Mrs. Koala Bear will see